ego. Okay, so ego is a crazy thing, okay, because it's so easy to build up your own ego and to think it's so easy for everyone who is a human, the most dominating species, to build up this sort of uh, interior status, and to say like, okay, yeah, I'm better than other people. You know, no one's as good as me and my people. You know, that's really where racism is built. Is that people are trying to be better than one another in that sense. When we're all human beings, we all have the potential to be great. It's just depending on things like compassion and things like how we help one another and show people the way, and how open we are to listening and how present we are in the moment as well. Okay, and so the thing which really comes from the ego is that people start clashing, and we're not able to help and learn from each other and build on top of each other. The thing that the ego really does is it increases something which isn't even real. It's artificial. The ego is literally just status. And by having a large status, that's not something you identify as your ego. That's just how you are. Okay? So by saying that you've got a big ego, you're breaking the fourth wall, and you're breaking people's perception of reality, and you're actually fronting. You're actually bringing an artificial plague into this setting that people are starting to jump onto and start to, like I said in the compassionate subject, starting to become contagious upon. Okay, so this is something I've had to battle my whole life, because ego has been something I just naturally had quite a large ego, and I always thought, okay, you know, I'm better than someone else or something, and that has affected people around me, bro. I've gotten through this understanding that the ego doesn't even need to be there, and you can still create exactly the same results without bringing anyone down, and actually helping more people. So not only are you helping your own gang, your own group of friends, but you're also helping outlookers, people who are looking into your area and thinking, you know, that's someone who I actually want to be like, as opposed to looking at someone and thinking, wow, how am I going to climb that ladder and get to that level of status? It's not about that. What you'll notice with the best leaders is that they're able to humble themselves. You don't even notice that they've got a big ego, because they're in so much control. They've got so much power that it's not even a factor on whether they have a big ego or not. It's just whether they're a strong persona, whether they're actually a strong leader. If you can just see that there's power behind them, as opposed to some sort of amplified status, which is the embodiment of ego. Okay, so ego has been very difficult to explain for a long time through evolutions. The closest that people have naturally seen it is of status, and now that spirituality is becoming more prevalent, is that we're able to label the ego and start dissecting it more. So when people talk about ego, that's a red flag. That's not something that you can look at in its purest, truest form. And God does not have an ego. Okay, so one love, keep improving, let's keep fucking rising, and all the best. Come on.